Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 9th of July 2017 for another episode, and this is the first episode following the mass sale conclusions. So I hope you guys all did pick up a bargain or three from all the simulation releases that were going on, or the simulation sales that were going on during that time. But yes, we are back into the regular scheduled programming this week. So we're here this week actually with one, funny enough, that was actually released last week that I missed. I do apologize. So this is from the one for the X-Plane crowd. So this is from the guys over at V-Flight Air. So V-Flight Air have been producing really good quality GA aircraft for the X-Plane universe for a number of years, and this was their release for their Piper Twin Comanche PA-30 for X-Plane 11. So this is their one of their first ones that actually, or this is actually their first model that was actually designed and built purely for X-Plane 11, not for one of the previous versions of X-Plane. So this takes advantage of a lot of the features of that, including the new X-Plane 11 sound system and their full PBR lighting and texture orientation for projection of both exterior and interior objects. So it's a really interesting setup, and it looks absolutely stunning. Like, the quality of their work has always been good, but this is really outstanding. This one is. Now it gives a beautiful, as I said, these guys are known for giving beautiful quality textures, but also very accurate and very amazing, very spot on flight dynamics, and very much accurate representations of their aircraft, including in this case the fuel system and a very interactive menu system, including for all of the pre-flight options, including checklists, weight and balance calculators, and pre-flight options as well. So this is looking absolutely outstanding and a really solid result, a really solid aircraft for the X-Plane universe. Coming in available either direct from the guys over at V-Flight Air at their website, or from the xplane.org store, coming in at $30 or your regional equivalent, available now. Alrighty, in other releases in the X-Plane world this week, so we saw a few scenery releases in the X-Plane world this week. So we saw the guys over at Just Sim. So Just Sim, who released their Dusseldorf International to the FSX and P3D world a few weeks ago. They have now brought their X-Plane edition out as well. So the X-Plane edition is very similar to their ESP edition, including very highly detailed airport objects and vehicles, photoreal textures on the airport buildings, a lot of details of the airport and the surrounding area as well. So covering around about 2 square kilometers of the surrounding area as well is covered off with this one as well, including customized autogen for the area, as well as some points of interest have been modeled and detailed as well. Fully animated ground vehicles are included with this one. Various X-Plane 11 features, including dynamic lighting, have also been fully compatible with this one as well. And as I said, overall looking quite good, quite solid, quite amazing produced product this one. So great to see this one come across to the X-Plane world. So coming in at $20 or your original equivalent, available now, either from the xplane.org store or from your favorite simulation retailer, available now. Continuing in other scenery releases this week for X-Plane, so we saw a release from the guys over at Aerosoft. So these guys released the Bergen Airport in Norway. So this one's come out now. Now, this is the second largest airport in Norway, and a very highly overdue airport to come to the X-Plane world. Now this one's coming in with some beautiful, taking full advantage again of the X-Plane 11 lighting and dynamic models as well, looking absolutely incredible, including animated service vehicles, which is an X-Plane 11 native feature as well. Full animated jetway supported with the AutoGate plugin, if you added in as well. Beautiful, highly detailed both runway textures and surrounding models of the surrounding airport and airport surrounding areas as well, if I can talk correctly today. Very highly detailed taxiway and runway textures as well as some customized static aircraft just for this particular airport, and beautiful, highly detailed terminal buildings, including the detailed of the terminal interior and the new terminal construction site as well for this one as well, and with custom terrain mesh for the runway sloping as well. So definitely one of those features that is always a big winner with X-Plane, being the non-flat runways, and always cool when you actually get the custom mesh included for an airport, so you actually get the airport's mesh right, they like slope right as well. So yeah, coming in at $22 or original equivalent, available now from the X-Plane.org store or from Aerosoft's website, available now. And the other release for the X-Plane 11 airports was the SPSV Salvador Baja International Airport. So this one's looking, again, pretty cool. So this one is as the airport looks at the start of 2017, so a very recent modelling of this one. Again, designed to take full advantage of the X-Plane 11 features, including the HDR and PBR lighting and dynamic effects as well, with dynamic texture effects. Really, really nice. Taking advantage again of the customized ground service vehicles and ground service and aircraft traffic. Beautiful model, highly detailed models of the airport, as well as the surrounding city as well, was also being included, as well as customized runways, pavement and taxiway textures. Beautiful, mate. So 2D and 3D grass models included with that one as well. The streets and the avenues have actually been modelled as well, not just with the actual modelling, but also with their own AI traffic. So you actually get some like actual customized ground traffic for the surrounding city as well, which is again kind of cool and kind of interesting. Custom approach lighting system has been included as this as well, and just looking absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff, including with some airport charts for the surrounding area as well. So a lot of detail is packed into this airport. Again, coming in $20 the original equivalent, available now from the X-Plane.org store. Alrighty, so moving now out of the X-Plane world and moving into the FSX and P3D world. So we're going to start with FSX Steam Edition this week. So FSX Steam Edition saw the release of the re-release of Just Flight's and CLS's McDonnell Douglas DC-10. So it's part of the Just Flight's F-Lite range. So previously this has been around for a number of years from the Just Flight store directly. Or from commercial level simulations. So they've done this. They've done this model about 3 times over the last few years. This is just simply the latest iteration of it. Now, as I said, I've actually reviewed this previously in its non-Steam version. Though the Steam version is exactly the same, just with most of the liveries taken out and only the Air France and KLM liveries left in there. So, yeah. As I said, I'll pop a link to my review of the non-Steam Edition version in the description down below. Look, overall, it's actually not a bad add-on. I just was a little disappointed that this version didn't include the KC-10 extender model. That was just my little thing. I was a little disturbed, a little disappointed it didn't include that. But anyway, overall, look, it's a good, solid entry level if you are looking at taking your first steps into tube liners and you're wanting to get into them and don't want to be sort of overwhelmed by. You want to step up from, say, the basic, the default 737, but you don't want to be overwhelmed by something like PMDG. This is not a bad intermediary step for you to learn on. So yeah, not too bad. Coming in at $30 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Alright, in other ESP release news this week, so the guys over at Aerosoft, they've released their Napoli X. For the Naples airport has been released now for the ESP world. Coming in looking very, very nice. Fully compatible across the range of FSX Steam Edition, and Lockheed Martin's prepared version 3 and version 4, which is very interesting as well. Fully compatible with that across there. Beautiful high definition shadows and high definition 3D objects with dynamic lighting support for prepared version 4. with rendered night lighting and shadows for FSX and prepared 3 and prepared version 3. Beautiful high detail renditions of both the airport and the surrounding city as well, including all the major city landmarks and key objects as well. So always good for VFR pilots. Very high and high resolution 2048 ground textures as well for that as well, nice as well. And with an updated AFCAD file, including up-to-date approach procedures and charts are included for this airport as well, which is always great and nice to see as well. And just a nice mix of both custom autogen and photoreal terrain coverage for both the airport and the surrounding city. So yes, this one is coming in available now at around about $25 available now from the either direct from the Aerosoft store or from your favorite flight sim retailer available now. And rounding out the ESP platform releases this week, so the guys over at FSim Studios have brought us their latest release this week, which is their rendition of Quebec City Airport. Now, I'm just gonna look. I don't have this. I'm going purely off the screenshots that have been released by the FSim guys. Now I'm gonna say that I've got mixed feelings about this. I'm looking at it and going, the actual like airport buildings are quite well modelled. Especially the terminal building with giving both the interior and exterior modelling of that is actually really quite good. The animated jetways look like they're spot on as well, so really good for that. So high quality there, customised ground traffic and AI traffic and static models for the airport traffic. Beautiful high definitions and beautiful models of the hangars and the FBOs for the area as well. Looking really cool, multi-seasonal textures, but I just have to say that it feels like the actual like base texture, ground texture they're using really lets it down. Like it really does. And you know, it's for 20 bucks, you know, for $20 the original equivalent. It's not, it's not too bad, but you know, sitting it next to something like Napoli that we just saw, you know, for just 25, it's sort of like, yeah, that's, you know, there's a big difference there. But as I said, like the overall, it still conveys the airport very well. And the building's very modelled, but it's just very jarring when placed next to the underlying photoreal that they've used there for the airport surrounds, the airport, the non-taxi ways, the non-aprons, sort of like, you know, the areas of the car park and the outlying parking areas and the surrounding city. It's sort of just very jarring use of there. So maybe that could be improved in a patch later on. I don't know, but still a great overall looking model. Just as I said, just jars quite significantly when you're looking at those other features of it. Anyway, but yes, if you do want to pick this one up, as I said, coming in at $20 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Market, available now. Alrighty, and so that rounds out the flight simulation releases for this week. So moving into the other different world simulation worlds for this week. So we'll move you now into the world of cricket. So very interesting, very topical for Australians at the moment, with the ongoing pay dispute having caused the cancellation of one tour and potentially putting other future tours for the rest of the year in danger. So I'm a bit of an intermittent cricket fan, but anyway, I'll leave that one go for now, but as I said, very topical conversation at the moment. But anyway, this brings us into Cricket Captain 2017. So this is the 2017, the 17th iteration of Cricket Captain. Basically, yeah, it's another one of those sports titles that goes through and sort of just pushes various different things for you. It seems to be getting quite positive reviews. It sort of adds in new domestic systems. So there's been a lot of changes in the cricket world over the last few years. A lot of moving away from the test match style and moving into one day and 2020 style of cricket, and this version of Cricket Captain is really pushing to actually embrace that, including the new domestic systems and over 20 leagues, 20 of the major leagues around Australia, including India, England, Australia, West Indies, Pakistan, South Africa, and Bangladesh, and New Zealand. So a lot of detail has gone into this one here. A lot of all actual player stats go into this. So very interesting, and there's a lot of historical scenarios have gone through in here as well, including new grounds, including Cardiff, Taunton, Bristol, and the Hobart Cricket Ground, which got a huge update over the last year. So really interesting new database for the players. So as I said, a lot of updates have gone through this year. Most of the user reviews and player reviews have been coming through, going good solid reviews for this one. So yeah, looking not too bad. I'm not a huge fan of sports simulations, but if they do interest you, this could be what you're after for something different. $25 or your original equivalent available now from Steam or direct from the developer available now. Alright, moving on now to the permanent way. So for the train simulator fans, we saw a couple of releases this week. So the first one we saw was the release of the Miami West Palm Beach Scenario Pack. So this is essentially a train sort of mission pack, train simulator mission pack. And this gives you 10 career scenarios for the Miami West Palm Beach route add-on. So you do require certain other content to be able to use this one. So just for it's sort of again encouraging a bit of cross pollination and cross purchasing of various other goodies in the train simulator world. So this one does require, to get full functionality of this, you require the Miami West Palm Beach route, which is the minimum. You'll also require the several train add-ons, including the CSX EMD SD80, the GE AC 6000, and the New York New Haven route as well, to actually get the full benefits for the full scenario pack. As I said, 10 careers, 10 mission packs, so basically coming in at $1 a mission to expand your train career. Not too bad little add-on for some great quality stuff available now. And finally, rounding out the release news for this week, we also saw the release of the Malmesbury Branch route add-on. So this is a very historical route for the UK rails. And part of the GWR sort of plan to link various railways together, including the Malmesbury to the rest of the world via its other existing branch lines. So it's looking pretty cool, and sort of, as I said, it looks goes through and models a lot of the sort of more rural routes throughout the United Kingdom. Going to those country lanes, country back roads, and sort of going through and just traveling all those services before the era when bus services started providing better connections in the post Second World War era, and a lot of these sort of smaller branch lines fell into disuse and disrepair, and sadly this particular route was one of those many routes that did suffer closures, with the last passenger services finishing in 1951 and the final freight service operating in 1962. So lost to history this route, but now you can recreate it yourself in the virtual world of Train Simulator 2017. Now this doesn't give you, this particular route, it gives you the route itself, it gives you 5 scenarios, gives you 3 3¾ miles of very atmospheric route. As I said, it sort of captures that quintessential English backcountry sort of work. It really does. It just looks absolutely amazing. This includes the 2 trains. It includes the GWR 5700 Pania and the GWR 6800 Grange, with full driver assisting capability as well. It also gives some AI traffic as well of the Castle and King class sim agents as well. And a GWR AA3 brake van is included with this one as well. It's just looking, as I said, this one is not for speed or anything like that. This one is just purely for the picturesque and the imagery of it, and the just stepping back in time to something out of the late 1800s, early 1900s. This really is for a time of stepping back into history. So, but yes, coming in, available now on Steam, coming in at $12 the original equivalent, available now. Alrighty, folks, that does round out the release news for this week. I do want to touch on one final news item for the week, though, that I did see, which is kind of related to new releases. So of course, with the release of Lockheed Martin's prepared version 4 a few weeks, a few months ago, and the rush of people to get things compatible with it. There's been mixed messages coming from a lot of developers about whether they're charging for upgrades or upgrades are going to be free. In cases, some developers are offering it on some of their product range is going to be free, some is going to be paid. Other developers are saying it's all free, other developers are saying it's all paid. And it's a bit of a mishmash, a bit of a hodgepodge at the moment. Anyway, and other developers having made one statement and then backpedaling and coming out with new statements later on. Anyway, Milviz is the latest one who originally announced and had begun charging their customers for a $5 upgrade fee to transition their existing catalog onto the prepared version 4 compatibility. They announced on the 7th of July that they were actually withdrawing that, and anyone who had already paid it would be eligible for a refund, and they're deciding that they will offer a support of their entire existing catalog that's compatible with prepared. They'll make it compatible with version 4 free of charge. So not sure what that means for any of their product range, which currently is only officially compatible with FSX and not officially compatible with prepared at all. Not sure what we'll see about that, but time will tell. As I said, it's a bit of a mishmash at the moment going on, and sort of again, a lot of confusion now going on out there in the community about what's compatible, what's not, what's being sort of hacked together, and what's officially supported. So I appreciate when developers like A2A and Orbix come out with very clear, concise statements which basically say everything will be supported and this is what we're going to do to make that happen. So yeah, I'd like that. Anyway, so I just thought I'd keep you guys in the loop. If you have paid the upgrade fee, contact your supplier, your third-party retailer, or Milviz if it was Milviz's online store directly that you paid the money to, and they will arrange a refund for you in the very near future. Alright folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.